Hello and welcome to Odd Sock Comics. I have to do a handheld video today because we are in the middle of packing and I can't pull everything out. I'm going on a little bit of a road trip coming up for the 4th of July. So next week I'll be on the road. I may do a video, I may not. There may be a couple of spots along the road trip where I stop and check in, so we'll see. There are plenty of things that could happen, but we'll see where we end up. But for this week, for New Comic Book Day on Wednesday, and I have to think of the date, it is June 26th, I believe. This is my New Comic Book Day haul. And I had a pretty big day all around. I'll get around to that as we're chatting here, but I'll start with my favorite book of this week was Conan the Barbarian, number 7. And each little book pulls out an episode, and then it's tied together with some bigger arc around the Scarlet Witch, and these are just fantastic. Yeah, love that. I mean, this one, it was great. It was kind of, you know, he hires these prostitutes, and then he uses them to get into a position to try to assassinate a guy, and you know, it carries on from there. But in the process, the prostitutes, you know, fall in love with Conan because he is the ultimate male, and you know, that's the story works. You know, Conan being Conan, I thought it was pretty awesome. It's great. There's like a little bit of, you know, that longing love for Belit and all of those kinds of things involved as well. So it's pretty romantic approach on the manly side. I like this one a lot. I definitely like the art inside as well. Just all around good book. So this was my favorite book this week. All right, moving on. A couple of other books that I got. So I got Spawn number 298. This is obviously an homage to Spider-Man 298, which I think is pretty cool. Now, I'll be honest, I tried to start to read this. I'm just not interested in Spawn that much. I thought that I would start picking it up as the Road to 300 carried on, but I may not. I just don't really care that much about Spawn. It's not my thing. Oh well. Next up, I have Major X, and I'm not sure. I think this may end this little mini-series. I'm not sure if it's going to keep going or if this is the end of it. You know, this kind of a jumpy storytelling style. You start to see a little bit of the powers of Major X, which was good. You see this old man Cable, which was pretty awesome. It was hard to tell the difference between Dreadpool and Deadpool. So not the best storytelling, and then it kind of one big blast and everything's over after a lot of build. So not great storytelling, not a great end to this story arc. Kind of leaves Major X in the field so he can show up at other points in the future, but he may or may not. This may be a wimpy character that disappears because there wasn't enough interest going on during the first introductory scene. We'll see who can do something better with Major X down the line. All right, another series coming to an end. I think that was the theme this week. Silencer, let's see, number 18. Hard to focus on that because I can't tell what's going on in that picture, but obviously this is just Silencer walking through the rain. This is the final episode. It ended, or the final issue, it ended with the end, and that is the end. Pretty happy. It leaves her in a good place to come back. She is a cool hero, and I do hope to see her show up again. And I think that they did a really good job with this 18 series to introduce her, introduce this whole Assassin's League and how it all interplays. And I really enjoyed reading this entire series. I've got every single book, 18 plus an annual, so that was cool. All right, next up I have an awesome cover. This is an amazing Batman cover. I can't remember who did it. Ooh, let's see, maybe if I can find it quickly. But this was an awesome Detective Comics, and that is just a fantastic Batman. But the story was good. It's starting fresh, new story arc, bringing in Spectre, and very interesting, kind of bloody, real detective work. This is the good stuff from Batman. This is definitely the one that I am more excited about reading right now. That may be because I've got enough of the Batman character that I don't really care about Tom King's character development anymore. But this one is more my size when it comes to Batman. So yeah, I enjoyed the read here. The story's interesting and very active. And oh, here we go. Let's see. Dan Quintana did the variant cover. Fantastic. All right, so Detective Comics number 1006. Excellent. Next up, I have part 3 of Batman Damned. And this one also, good story. The art in there, of course, is amazing. It brings in, just for me, they brought in, let's see, here we go. Zatanna, boom. Appreciate that one. This is a whole very magical book, very interesting. I'm not going to spoil it. The ending was pretty interesting. I don't think that anything like that's been done before, and I was okay with it. Good book. I enjoyed this whole thing. I wish they would have been free to just do exactly what they wanted. I know that this was going to be a little bit darker, a little bit more graphic than they ended up going with after they backtracked on issue 1. That's disappointing. This was an adult book. It was always meant to be an adult book, and they backed down and made it kind of a teen plus, which is disappointing, especially for how creepy that is. Cool covers. All right, I got a couple of other back issues. This is my big one. So I picked up Lois Lane number 70, Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane number 70, and this is the first Silver Age appearance of Catwoman. And there's a little bit of a story to this one. About a year ago, I was shuffling through back issues, and at the time I was actually looking for Jimmy Olsen number 134, the first appearance of Darkseid, and I saw this book in the Jimmy Olsen slot in the back issues at my shop, and I was like, "Oh, that's in a weird place. I wonder what that is." And I looked it up at the time. It had a price tag on it of $50, which is also unusual because my store owner keeps all the books that are 50 plus, usually behind glass, and so it was weird to see this one out there. Well, I was thinking about this one, and I read up a little bit, and this one popped up, and I was like, yeah, that fits my collection. I should probably have that book. I'll put it in my wish list. So just within the last week, I put that on my wish list and had it on my list for keeping an eye out for it. And I knew that I'd seen it, and I went into my shop today, and I was like, I'm going to go see if it's still tucked in there in between the Jimmy Olsen books. And I'd looked up the price and kind of had an idea that, you know, a mid-grade copy was going to be about $90 to $100. That's in the right price range. But I went and I found this one. This one is rated, it's probably very good. It's definitely pretty dirty and could use a little bit of a dry cleaning. But it's, for the most part, it's intact. It looks good. It's well taken care of. You know, not sharp corners or anything like that. It's definitely low to mid grade. But I was looking at some of the books like this that have sold recently, and they were selling for like $70 for something in quite a bit worse shape than this. Water stains and folds all the way across the cover. So this one felt really good. Probably a 4.0 is what I'd say. But this one was tagged for $50, and whether that was the right price or not, that's what I got it for. You know, maybe if it had been out, he would have updated it with kind of the more current pricing on it, but I feel happy that I found it. And I knew that it was there, and it was funny that it was still in the exact same place. Went back to the Jimmy Olsen section, and there it was. I actually got a discount on the price, so I got this for $45, 10% off, and I feel like I got a good buy on that. This one definitely fits into my collection. So that's another nice Silver Age to package up. Very happy about that. All right, and then I went for some back issues. Now, I said that I was going to catch up on Daredevil, and so I picked up 3 4-second printing, 5-second printing. Couldn't get find the first prints, but I just want the story. 6 and 7 from my local shop. I already read one, and I dug into that and focus. I'm gonna have to edit that one out, but this is a package that has Daredevil number 2 in it that I picked up, I think, for, I want to say $7 shipped. A little more than cover price shipped, but that's the tough one to get, number 2. I don't know exactly why. I think that it's the cop's son has a first appearance there, and there's some speculation on that, I believe. But I'm going to read through this. I haven't read it yet, but I've got these books to read, and I'll catch up on it, and looking forward to it. So that's my new comic book day haul. It was pretty heavy, mostly because of catching up on this and then one big book. I've also been spending the last few nights reorganizing my comic books. I got a new long box, and I've repackaged that up, and I'm labeling everything. So things are getting, my organization's changing. The way that I'm collecting them is moving around a bit. I'm kind of building some structure around that. It's one of those fun things to do, but it does take a lot of time. So that's all I've got for today. I'm going to go finish packing, and I will, maybe do a video from the road. We'll see. But hope that you had a good new comic book day. Let me know what you got, and let me know if I missed out on something that I need to go grab at the shop before I take off tomorrow. And hope you have a good week.